Hello, how's everyone out there doing this wonderful afternoon? I am here with the marvelous Mel Kelly, based in Munich, Germany. Mel is a self-proclaimed disastrous life coach. Welcome to the show today, Mel Kelly.
Thank you so much, Amy. It's a pleasure and a privilege to be here with the amazing Amy Hamilton, the amazing author of amazing books. Good.
Mel, today we are going to be talking about how to lose friends and negatively influence people. And I think you were really kind of the king of that, right? So what is your advice to our audience on how can they lose their friends?
Yeah, well, let's start with this thing, how to win friends and influence people. I mean, this book is a very dangerous book because, if you implement it successfully, you'll end up having too many friends. But then friends are needy, friends are difficult, friends are time consuming. My goodness, do you want to really overdo that and having too many friends? So, I don't know. Before we get into how to lose friends, is it good to have too many friends? You don't want that, do you? Or Amy?
So, Mao, I think that's actually a great speech to just give your friends in the beginning. Like, okay, let me just explain, you guys are all needy, so let's cut some of you out.
Well, exactly, and so you can either let them self-select themselves out, or you can actually proactively get rid of a few of them, And a good way to do it is when they're being needy, they're sharing their stories, is tune out. Then when they're looking for sympathy, just go, sorry, change the topic. When they're telling and moping and feeling sorry for them, just change the topic. Don't listen to them.
Mel, not only that, but I think a really important analogy is when you look at Facebook and people are like, if you read this and you don't post this, I'm never going to be your friend. You just respond back with like, hey, not only am I not going to repost it, just take me off your friends list.
That's exactly. Anyone who would send that to you, say, if you will not forward this, you refuse to be my friend, you're not my friend, blah, 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 blah. Get rid of anybody who does that. Get rid of them. Cut them out. Somebody like that. Lose the timber. They will bring you down. That's this sort of nonsense, Yes. So yes, how to lose friends. It's a very effective, a very important technique in life. Otherwise, you'll end up with too many. Needy, time-consuming, waste of energy, suck all the energy. Oh, come on. Who wants that? Jesus Christ. Better when you throw a party, you have yourself and you're lonesome. Then you don't have to pay for anyone else. Much better way to go through life.
Okay, Mel. So what about how to negatively influence people? How can you make sure that when you do have to interact with people, it's the worst experience possible?
The best thing to do is, all this positivity about helping people believe in themselves and all this is, again, completely overrated, because you start to pump people up and get them believing to do things that they can't actually do. Then they're only setting themselves up for greater failure. So the best way is fill them full of doubt. Fill them full of doubt and fear, and just tell them, when they start dreaming about this, say, well, you haven't done this before. Do you think you'll be able to do this? Or they say, but it doesn't matter. And then do you think maybe you're too old, too young to do that? Oh, maybe you could lose money to this. Fill them full of fear and doubt. Protect them from taking any of those challenges, because you're protecting them from bigger and greater failure. That bigger and greater disappointment that they won't be able to handle. So you need to negatively influence people, because this search for greatness, oh my goodness.
No, absolutely. Great points, Mel. Making sure that your friends are kept at arm's distance and that you can focus on you, right? Because what more important things can you do than spend time with your friends?
No. You get much more important to spend time with yourself. My goodness, your friends will just bring you down. Goodness, my goodness. And especially if you spend your time filling them full of doubt, insecurities, fears, and existential fears and all that. They're not going to be good people to hang around with. So yes, you need to negatively influence them and then cut them out.
Mal, I think you've got a plan there.
I have a book in the making on this. How to lose friends and influence.
Once you've alienated all your friends, how do you get new ones so that you can build them up and tear them back down?
Now we're talking.
How do you make this a repeatable process?
You got to make it a repeatable process. You got to go back to how to win friends and influence. Be nice to people, listen to them, ask them, talk to them about themselves, all that positive, good stuff. Tell them they're great, tell them they're wonderful, give them compliments. Then you build them all up. They all come in, be your friends again. But then it's time to chop them all down again, because then if you give them too many compliments, they get needy. They'll suck up all your time and energy, and you've no time down. No time left for yourself to be lonely and miserable. So yeah, there you go. So it's a bit of a flip-flop between the two books: how to win friends and influence people, and then how to lose friends and negatively influence people. But it makes life interesting. It's like a roller coaster.
Well, there you go. I mean, and you've really got a great plan there because you've scoped it well. As a project manager, I really appreciate that. Mel, next week we are going to be talking about a completely different topic. I was complaining to you about this before the show. I'm out doing a lot of gardening, and it is allergy season. And I think many, many people around the world suffer from allergies in the springtime. And Mel is going to give the worst coping advice ever on how to cope with allergies, and which his coping mechanisms for allergies may also help you to lose some friends.
Exactly. Looking forward to you all next week.